Okay, in order to solve this one algebraically, the first thing we have to do is put everything on one side, and we want to put it all in descending order. So we've got to tell that 8 to hit the road, so we're going to subtract it. We have 2x squared plus 6x, and we're going to minus the 8. Now that everything's set equal to 0, we can factor. I'm looking at that one, and at first I have this urge to do the Martinsville method, but I think I see a GCF. 2 goes into 2, 6, and 8. So we're going to pull the 2 out. Always consider a GCF first. All right, so this is what it leaves in the parentheses. Now that we have a little baby trinomial in the middle there, that is something we can factor. Remember, the 2 is still out front. This trinomial, I have to ask myself, what is going to multiply to be negative 4 and add to be positive 3? Well, 4 times 1 would multiply to be 4, and positive 4 minus 1 would add to give me 3. Now I need some answers. It does say solved, so what I'm going to do is set each factor equal to 0. When I set this factor equal to 0 and solve for x, I get 1. When I set this factor equal to 0, I get negative 4. 2, we're not going to be able to set it equal to 0 because it doesn't have any x's to solve for. So my solutions are negative 4 and 1. Now another way to solve this one would be graphically. So in order to put this in our calculator and look at the graph, we have to get it all on one side. So we're going to subtract the 8. And we're going to put it in our calculator and see where it crosses the x-axis because x-intercepts are solutions. It's going to look like this in our calculator. And when you graph it, it's going to be a parabola because it is a quadratic. It's going to look something like that, and it's going to cross at negative 4 and 1, just as we suspected when we solved it algebraically. Now, the responsible thing to do would be to plug in our 2 solutions and make for sure that they both work. So I'm first going to plug in negative 4. Now I always go through and just leave empty parentheses everywhere there's an x in the original problem. And then I go in and I put negative 4 everywhere I see an x or a blank. So let's see, we've got 2 times 16. Parentheses are very important. If you just want to type the left side in your calculator, parentheses are very important. So just doing it by hand here, it looks like 32 minus 24. Oh, that one checks out. We know negative 4 is indeed a solution. Now we have to check both, so we're going to have to check 1. So I'm going to leave empty parentheses again. I'm going to put a 1 in all the empty parentheses. And you can just type the left side in your calculator. Just remember your parentheses. It's going to be 2 times 1 plus 6. It's looking pretty good. And 2 plus 6 does indeed equal 8.